Mitch Hayen, and my story goes back from my childhood. I was raised as a Catholic. The family that I was in, we'd go to church every Sunday. We'd live as if we knew the Lord, and we'd associate with people who knew the Lord. And going to a Catholic church, I was taught to be a moral person, be a good person, and I learned all sorts of traditions. And even though I had no knowledge of the meaning of these traditions, I was taught to follow them because it was part of what we did. The only foundation that I had in my childhood was on these traditions that I had no knowledge of why they're even in place. From the outside, I think if a person were to look at me when I was a child, or in my younger years, or even just a few years ago, they'd say that I knew of God. They'd say that I looked like a saved person. But the truth is, I didn't really know God. I just kind of knew of Him. I knew that He was there, and not a whole lot beyond that. Only a couple years ago, all through my childhood, I never owned a Bible. I never read a Bible, and I had never heard the gospel. I never heard the Word. It was only a matter of a couple years ago, like 3 or 4 years, that I actually first owned a Bible, and about a year or so after that I first heard the Word. And I never truly knew until a few years ago the significance of Christ's death. I knew that He died for us. I had no idea why, and I was told that this is part of our religion. And because I had no foundation with the only foundation I had was on these traditions, so once I realized that I don't know why I believe in these things, I started to fall away from them because I had no firm reason to believe in them. So I was easily swayed by the world and by others around me, and I had no reason to stay in any sort of walk with Christ, but to start walking in the way that others did, because I saw that that's how it was around me, so I'd fit in easier if I would just go along with the flow. And that was kind of my later teen years, maybe early 20s, but then even just a matter of 3-4 years ago, I met my wife, and that's the first time I heard the Word. And as soon as I heard it, it changed my life immediately. It wasn't a 180, but there was definitely something different in me. And once I heard the gospel, I started reading about it. And I started reading in the New Testament about Christ dying for us and how simple salvation is. And then it really started to make me question Catholicism and why I believe these things all my life that I had no reason for believing. And it kind of started to fire at me once I realized how easy salvation was and who Christ was and why He died for us. And so I started reading the Bible more and more. And at the point that I heard the Word, it's when my life really changed. It's when I gave my life to the Lord and decided that I don't want to live just for this world, and I don't want to live for traditions. I want to know why I'm living, and I want to know who put me here, and especially why someone would care so much about me that they'd give their life for me. After I started reading more about the Bible, and I heard the Word, it kind of started to consume me. Everything I did, everything I thought about was always Christ-centered, and then that started to reflect in my actions. And I started to fall away from other people that I used to associate with, and other things that I used to associate with that just I had no desire for anymore, because my new desire was in Christ. And now I'm at the point in my life where I still have that fire. Sometimes it needs to be reignited, but I'm at the point where I feel the need to share the Word, because I don't want anyone to live like I did, not knowing the Word. I don't want to have the risk be out there for anyone to not know the Word through their life. And I know that in Romans 10:14 it talks about people, how can they believe in something they never heard? And we need people with beautiful feet to bring the news. And I figure, why would it be anyone else except for me? So now that I know the Word, I want everyone else to join with me in the freedom that it brings. And today I just want to make an appeal to God that I have a changed heart.